back, everyone. We're so delighted, obviously, to have Nick here from Malaysia, Accomplish Asia, who's going to be sharing with us how to create connected communities. For those of you who are just coming back, hope you grabbed your little snack for our lunch and learn. It's been a fantastic morning. Thank you to Michael from Siputra and our amazing panelists. So without further ado, we are now in the Gnowbe program. We are in session 4 with Nick Foong from Accomplish Asia. So I'll turn it over to you, Nick.
Thank you, So-Young. Hi, everybody. And I'm really glad that I'm here. I'm a little bit worried that I'm here at 12 o'clock because some of you may have brought your food. Some I could be standing in between you and your food. So that makes me worried. But yes, today I kind of going to spend some time talking a little bit about how we create or how we build impactful communities using connected learning, like what the title says. And so if you are, is my screen showing? Can anybody see? Everybody see it's good? Okay, very good. And we'll kind of talk a little bit about the fact that, okay, Accomplish Asia, what we do, and some of the situations that we have with regards to where our members or participants are from different places. And so we'll take a look at how we try to align purpose, how we develop shared meaning and purpose, and foster engagement and connections through our programs, and to facilitate and to do leadership transformation, right? So that's where a little bit about me. Just do the fun stuff first. I spent quite a fair bit of time in the corporate sector for a while. I was a trained marketer, and I've had the pleasure and the opportunity to live in different countries. The US, I lived in. I'm from Singapore originally, so Singapore, Malaysia, and even Thailand. And the beautiful thing about spending time in different countries is that you actually get to experience different cultures and different cuisine, different things, and it really sometimes change your own perspective of life. So I kind of did it, but about 2010, I had my own little aha moment where something else caught my attention, something else I think that was also bigger, where I started to think more deeply and more intentionally about work and about how corporations should be intentional about actually doing good. And so I made that switch into the nonprofit social impact sector at that point in time, and I spent the last decade or so in that space. I also is a part-time lecturer at Singapore University of Science, lecturing on community building. And so I love this whole space. I love social impact. I believe that businesses exist to not only just for profit, but I think there is also a good purpose behind it, and that we should all be intentional there. And I part of this whole space is I do spend time with different clients. One of it is Accomplish Asia, where I curate kind of the learning, and we'll talk a little bit more about what these learnings are and what this what the program offerings that Accomplish does. I'm a huge geek. I'm a Star Wars fan, and I love coffee chat on technology trends. That's why I think in the today, when we talk about what are you interested in, I had to choose one. I chose the AI one because I like to know more about what's going on in new spaces, because with the new developments, especially in tech. I'm also a big football fan, soccer, and this soccer for the Americans, and I like this club called Tottenham Hotspur. It's not Liverpool, Manchester United. It's not one of those big clubs, but I love this club, and I love them since I was young, and I don't think I'll ever change. But that's a little bit about kind of my background. moving forward, here it's a little bit fun, something fun here. Now, I love the fact that the Gnowbe team said that I absolutely shredded waves in Maui. I definitely did not shred any wave. I think, in fact, I think the wave totally shredded me, but I got a chance to learn surfing when I was there, and I thought that's something that I don't. It's not very common around here, so I said, let me try that, and it was a really good experience. It's very humbling whenever you're learning something like that, because you realize that you are not that, it's not that easy. So that's something that I've done, and yes, I've really had the chance to travel to different places. I won't call myself a foodie, but yes, the one thing about me is I'm totally fine with trying something local at least once. So the last thing on my mind is to travel to, like, say, Greece and have McDonald's. That would not be on my list. So I guess the question here, just quick poll just to start off, is, which I have these are the things that I've encountered. One of it was a bit too much for me to stomach, and I couldn't take it. Maybe take a guess on which one it is, and I'll go from there. Do you all see a different polls? Because I don't see the number, so I'm just curious.
Just click on the arrow.
I did click an arrow, it goes to the next page for me. But
I think that last one is not a poll. Was not a poll. The next one's a poll, right?
Okay, cool. It's not a poll. That might, don't worries. So I don't know what people are choosing, but I can tell you straight off that I have tried alligator in Florida, and that was it really tastes like chicken. I have tried the boiled snails in KK in Sabah. They were quite nice, honestly. I've also tried the insects and worms in Thailand. They were cooked, so that was fine. There was some of them were crunchy, and that's fine. But I stopped short at this Madagascar cockroach because although it was dead, it just looks a little bit around them. Yeah. Or what if being part of a community of like-minded leaders could accelerate your growth, multiply the positive change you bring to the world? What if business owners, managers, leaders view their roles as actually stewards of their teams, of their organization, and ensuring that the organization's success benefits both their people and the customers that they serve, right? So these are the things that we think about, and we believe that we need to make progress towards these, make these what ifs a reality. So far, over 800 leaders from about 480 companies have participated in our programs. What are some of these programs, right? And what are they like? Let me go in here. Okay. Oh, there's a little fun fact here, and I saw that. Okay. Now these programs are both physical and also blended and sometimes fully online. So I'm just curious, can you make a guess which is the furthest country an attendee of the program has come from? I've limited your choices here, and I'm just curious what you think. Which is the furthest? Australia? Is it Netherlands? Is it Canada? Is it South Korea? Okay. 65% of you have picked Canada as the top one. The next one, Netherlands. Okay, well, ooh, okay. Netherlands is making a big push now. All right. The reveal really is, it is Canada. Somebody from Canada. So not only that, now the program is run in this time zone +8 GMT. So this person is on at least a 12-hour delay in terms of timing for us, but attended a program that we ran. So that was pretty cool, and we really appreciate that they made time for this. So let me go back to that, and here I talk about the foundation being key. Really, for us, creating or building this impactful community starts. We know that just now there was mentions about alignment, about purpose, and it really it's important to help our participants and members see the why behind the what. It really starts there, and this whole idea of the what ifs that we talked about, it has to harmonize with their own values and culture, because then we can all move and more, and we can even take collective action together. Hopefully, when that is harmonizing, it addresses these thoughts like, why do I need to carve out time for this? Why do I need to be? Why is this important to me? Or how is this important to me? And how does this even help my organization or my company or my team? It seems basic, but I think having the alignment on purpose is so important, because it is a powerful enabler that starts there. The goal, very simply, is if we get it and see that, oh, you know what? Yeah, this movement. This could be a movement, and it feels something bigger than ourselves. It could be something that we very much a part of. And for me, really, it was like that. I actually started out as a participant in one of the programs. Actually, a participant of their first conference in February of 2020, just before COVID hit. That was we had a first conference. It was a physical conference, and I attended that one. And I can say that I can understand why, and just doing that for myself made me understand a little bit about what they're trying to do. Okay. Now, so in our program design, we have conferences, we have learning series, we have learning events, right? And so they're all slightly different, but in the way is in the logistics requirements. But we know that we definitely intentionally applied and incorporated relevant and best practices into it. Just now, there was from the video that even Michael shared on Ryan Jenkins. So important to understand how people learn, how people engage with content, understanding that you have a diversity of people sometimes as well. It's not just one generation now. It is so important to understand the way they learn and the way they engage, and how to make engagement relevant, because you don't want them to, like I said, if I can see why this is relevant to me, I would definitely stick around and find out more, right? And for now, for us, definitely a new way to do it was incorporating technology. There's no running away from that in this space. And just now, one of the last questions, the last question about upskilling and reskilling was actually from me, and I think So Young and Michael rightfully answered that in this new age, with being mobile first, you can definitely learn anytime. You don't actually have to always be in a physical lecture room or classroom. You can learn anytime. You can learn easily. You don't need a big bag full of textbooks, and you can learn together. And the learning together is so important, because it allows space for peer interaction, even though you are apart and not physically in the same place, right? It is, like I said, it's not a convenient plug for Gnowbe. It is genuinely useful, and here's kind of how we do it. Some examples of how we use the Gnowbe platform to support our programs. For the conferences, one of the things that we do is, even before a conference starts, our conference is a we use facilitators. So even facilitators, and we find that we need to onboard them. We need to give them we need to equip skills. We need to give them some guideposts on how you would facilitate discussions, what's the content, what content is going to be shared, like, so that they kind of know going in and they can prepare. So preparing facilitators is one. The next one, obviously, is also very important, is for the conference participant. Gone are the days where when you go to a conference and you have this big binder that you have to carry back, full of notes that you have to take. Now it's all here, it's all there. You can and it's everything you need to know about the event. I will be showing live versions of, just live version of it soon, but all you need to know is it's all there, including the session notes, the days, what's happening, very much like what you're seeing in today's agenda and sessions and session information. We also use it for new speakers onboarding. Now, new speakers meaning in the programs that we run, there could have been people who, just like me, who have attended a certain program, and now, okay, I feel that I have good enough experience, or we feel that, oh, you've actually got a good story and you can now be part of the speakers lineup. And we also use that as onboarding them as well, right? And then that's for kind of the conference. And now there's this thing about learning series, and that is a completely it's a blended learning. Now this is different from a conference. Conferences happens 1, 2 days, 3 days, or 2 days, and then it ends. That has ended. Now a learning series can happen over months, and the difference is how we do it for Accomplish is this. We say we have a learning series about saying, on leadership and leadership competencies. The way we do it is that there is a Gnowbe module that they would use or see or do for 2 weeks. They would open it up, it's live for 2 weeks, they will engage on it. But at the end of 2 weeks, there will be actually a get together. There is actually a physical meet where they meet together, and they might hear from a speaker or somebody that's competent in that space and domain, and then after that they have breakout groups, and then this goes on for different modules. But they basically do it. It's like a blended. So you have 2 weeks of an online thing, which you then come together for a physical meet. So again, virtual spaces are relevant these days. We talked about it all the way at the start of today's session, but the physical meets are important for building deeper connections and good discussion interaction. So I'm going to jump out a little bit and show you a little bit about some of these modules, and I want to make sure that I can do that well. Do you see a screen coming in? Is it okay? So okay. So this is just an example. So most recently, I think August, we ran a conference in Kota Kinabalu, and so this is an example of we call it the facilitator's playbook. So it allows us to explain things like, what gives them an overview of who accomplishes what, what we have been on the journey, then gives them specifics about the conference itself, And then this whole part here is all about equipping the facilitators, whether it's on skills, whether it's on the value systems that the values that we want to see, even guidelines, and then so this is an example of the facilitators playbook. I want to jump also into what the participants would get. So for this is like a one-stop shop for participants, a conference attendee. They get all the information about what's going to happen or what's going to happen, what is the agenda is. There's a very convenient button that they can click if they need to send a message to what we call your Ask Me counter. Now your Ask Me counter doesn't have to be physical. It can it's in the digital space as well. And then you have all the different things about what's happening on the day, and all the programs, just like what we're experiencing, will be in each and every single one. And obviously this is very easy. They can keep it. They can refer to it anytime, even after the conference is over, right? And then I'm going to show you a little bit about, so this is an example of one of the modules in a learning series. It's got its own little nomenclature or naming. And here it'll be like, okay, this whole topic is a competency-based topic where, okay, we're going to talk about marketing and sales in a digital age. So this is where they will have their content. They will interact just like anything, and you will also see this little thing here called this my I do it, and I'll come to that in a little bit, because that is actually part of how we try to sustain the learning and try to do the behavioral change. So this is one part where I will show you a bit more, but this is an example of one of a module. Some modules can be quite long, some are not that long, so it depends on what that topic is. This one was a little bit longer because we spent a bit of time talking about digital marketing and AI and all that. So these are just some examples of how we use Gnowbe to support our learning initiatives. Okay, now I'm going to move it back. Do you see it's the screen, right? Yeah. Okay. Let me see what's next. Okay, so there's a page here, and we won't go into that, but it's a little bit about like I said, we always incorporate the best practices and incorporate the research into the way we design programs. And so this is just here as a reference where and even Ryan Jenkins talked about it just now, and even Michael talked about it as well. All these things we infuse them into our programs so that we allow the learning to happen, right? So you can take a look at this when you are done. So here I have a question. In your experience, what hinders you from putting new learning into practice? Maybe just put them in here and just share, what hinders you from putting new learning into practice? I'm seeing some responses come in. Somebody said, I find it not practical enough. I find that it's not strongly motivated topic. The whys, it can make a diversion. I find that my own mindset can sometimes get in the way of new learning, and that's very true. That okay, and Asman did say afraid of being wrong, not sure the answer, and that's real. That's real. I remember that sometimes especially in my university classes, I didn't dare put up my hand because I didn't want to get it wrong, you know. And that's totally understandable. Noel says that I find that it's unsure where to start or too theoretical. Yes, so yeah, these are some real pits. Actually, it puts a stop into like, okay, fine. I've learned something, or I heard something today, but I can't put it into practice because of some of these hindrances. And it's totally understandable. But I mean, for us, I think it's very important to move from the knowing to the doing. Because like I said, we had this idea of this what if, like what if leaders or business owners and leaders would be able to impact the people around them, right? So if we can get them aligned or get them excited and motivated with the purpose, we feel that they then are very interested to learn. So, and obviously, knowing the busy people today and all that, we have incorporated that, make sure that our programs are, you know, multi-format, you know, for peer learning. It's micro, very important learning in bursts, small pieces, because when we have pockets of time, and that's but the whole thing, the thing that we love is actually this: we also learn from each other, and that is something that we are very mindful of. And you know, the third point: peer learning, success stories, inspirational content, peer support actually give people the courage to change. And I want to expand a little bit about that. We intentionally build in or create space for reflection and inspiration, all right, to allow the mind to process and to internalize and to figure out what this means for me. And we've also designed a simple framework for this, okay? And I'm going to show you what it is. It's simply called I Do It. Now, I want to make sure and acknowledge here that this is not something that you know, we created ourselves, but no, actually we adapted it from a partner organization called KBC, or Kingdom Business Community in Indonesia. And I know there's many amazing Indonesians right here in this conference as well, who probably also know about KBC. And this I Do is very simple. It just stands for I do it. I for inspiration or idea, D for decision. So O, okay, now what is my plan then? And then notice that I put a space here, because there's actually, you need to then try to implement it. And then after that, come back and have a timely review and take a look at where you are, right? So for us, it really is as simple as this. Just I do it. If it's too complicated, nobody's going to follow it. Nobody's going to do it. But if it's something as simple as this, okay, you know, I took something, like, you know, we asked for feedback. We asked for our aha moments. Okay, if there's an aha moment today, okay, now I got to make a decision. Is that something I can apply in my whatever in my business, my work, in my home, in my family, and then how am I going to do it? Okay, and a simple plan is not some big fancy project management. You don't need that, but just simply, okay, it could very well mean, like for example, I mentioned about the upskilling and reskilling. Okay, if that's something that's important for Gen Zs in my company, okay, maybe now I have to relook at it and make sure that there are opportunities for that to happen, because that's that seems to be what they want. Maybe the first organized plan is to, you know, gather a focus group, find out a little bit from the Gen Zers, you know, how would this look like, kind of thing, okay? And then you implement it, and then you review it, right? And for Accomplish Asia, the I Do It is done in accountability groups known as circles. So what is this circle, and how does it provide peer support? Let's find out next. The circle structure is, again, something not something very simple. It is already used by entrepreneurs organization and YPO, Young Presidents Organization in Malaysia. So it's not unique to accomplish. But again, this is about co-opting an interesting practice that we find that I think is going to work or it works, and then we just use it. So for us, a simple framework is this. This circle is just 8 to 10 people max in a circle. They may have gone through the conference with you. They may have gone through that learning series, and they commit to meeting 3 hours a month. 3 hours, that's all, one time. And they have to commit to being part of this group for at least 1 year. And during this time when they're meeting, they're actually sharing their highs and lows in 3 areas of their lives. Okay, work, personal, and family. Because some of the I do it could very well be not work related. It could be a personal thing. It could be something to do with family. And this is the accountability group. And we find that it actually can power members through their challenges and provide encouragement and celebrate the wins in their lives, right? It's really a safe space because why? Actually, nothing comes out of that circle. This circle is very tight in the sense that whatever they share, they try to, the philosophy is you keep it to the circle. And when that's very important because it also creates, it allows you to be vulnerable and to be able to share some of the, sometimes your real fears. It's not easy. It's not easy to do that sometimes with people, right? But this is a safe space, and that's this. And also the other thing is, in this circle, they don't do direct solutioning. So I may have a problem, and the goal is not for people to tell me how to fix my problem. But the goal is actually, if somebody has to share something, they will share that, oh yeah, you know, last time I had a similar problem, and the person shares from their own experience, with the goal that the person who was originally looking for a way to fix their problem gets inspiration or gets motivated from hearing that others have maybe overcome similar situations, and that I can then do it myself, or I can take ownership of the actions needed for me to move through my challenge or problem. And I think that that is also very, very different from just like somebody telling you what to do, right? You know, we've run these circles for about 4 years now, and we find that it really helps in sustaining change, or at least getting people to come alongside with you as you go in your journey of life, right? The question was, why does this circle work, or why do this accountability groups work? Because really, through as they spend time together, once a month, at least for a year, 3 hours a time, actually they develop very strong friendships, and they develop very strong friendships. You know, and the value of a friendship is in not how much time you spend together, but actually in the quality of the connection. And I find that because of the way the thing is, the circle is structured, the quality of the sharing, the quality of the connections that the people have do make it a very productive use of their time, and also allows them to process what is happening in their life, right? So quality over quantity, right? There are a few things here. Okay, this one is a video, a very quick one about from one of our attendees who is also now a speaker in the conference, and he will share with you a little bit about his story, how he benefited from the conference. So we just listen to that for a while. Please let me know if there's no sound.
I'm an engineer by training, and I started my career in construction, project management, sales, and finally in management. I spent the last 15 years with MNCs managing businesses in Malaysia, China, and Myanmar. The main takeaway from the conference comes from one of the speakers whose statement profoundly encourages us to use business to build people and not use people to build business. But through the conference, I saw many examples of this, where the dishwasher became the manager, a maid became a general manager, and a driver became a personal assistant. I was motivated to fulfill my calling to build people with business. How I applied these key ideas was that after the conference, I decided to dedicate my time to focus on my managers one-on-one, to spend time to encourage them, to give them feedback on how to improve, and also to give them belief in themselves. I'm sharing this journey with a group of like-minded people, and I'm not alone. I have learned so much from the speakers and my fellow group members.
Yeah, so that's one of the videos. This one I'm playing here. Later on in this session, I won't be sharing the video. I mean, I won't be playing it here, but there are two other videos. One talks a little bit, this lady, Anna, talks a little about her experience with her circle, the circle experience that I mentioned. And then there's another video as well from a person called King Kwa, who talks also about his experience with the conference. And you can watch that whenever you're free, right? So, you know, the last word what I have here is that when we started this journey, the goal was to create community that drives impact. But along the way, I want to tell you that we discovered something even more powerful, and that the foundation of an impactful community is actually authenticity. When we allow space for people to be their true selves, we allow deeper connections to form. And with shared purpose and values in place, it really unlocks the desire to enrich the lives of people within our sphere of influence. We are not there yet, but we are definitely seeing progress, right? So these are our deeds. I mean, you want to keep in touch or find out what Accomplish is doing. These are the socials there. And I just want to put this as I told So Young, I said this is a shameless plug, where that we happen to have one in October, and this is a fully online version of the True Success Conference that we talked about. But it is fully online, but very interestingly, there are actually live facilitated pit stops after your self-paced learning. So there are details here. You just click it on here, and then you would find out more on the website, and you can register there directly, right? Yeah, I'll pass the time back. Thank you for giving me your attention. It's 12:55. Just pass it back to So Young. Yeah.
No, thank you so much, Nick. I think we want to open it up for some Q&A, because I think what you shared is so fantastic. Purpose, community, the why, really creating community. And I don't know if everyone knows, but the people in this community don't have to be there, because they're not employees of a company. They're paying to be part of this community, and to sustain that impact for a year is not easy. So I think my question is, how do you get very busy professionals to stay engaged for a year and even beyond the year, right, for the program?
Yeah, I think that's a valid point, and I think it goes back to even some of the feedback from the pit stop. I think for professionals, that's why I said it's so important to start with that foundation is key. If they understand that this is of value to me or to the organization I'm leading, or to something that it really gels and harmonizes with my thinking, I think the staying power, I mean, that's a very, very important start, because now I understand why I need to carve out time for this. Like you mentioned, this is a commitment. And I think that is so important. Now, then as they get exposed to, yes, Daniel here, so intrinsic motivation is very powerful. And I think the other part is just seeing the stories from different people is another it's another impetus, I guess, for us to continue this journey. Yeah.
I think that's and others, please feel free to ask your questions as well. But I think given, also the different journeys, I think someone's asking how can we be a part? I would strongly recommend you click on the links and inside of the Gnowbe program. And I think the other piece is as you're, what are some of the impacts that you've seen in the lives, as you're facilitating, and why did you switch from being a participant to a facilitator? You shared a little bit, but I'm curious about that personal journey for you.
Yeah, so personally, on a personal level, I think was when I went to the conference and I saw or I listened to what they were talking about, it gave me it gave me a fresh perspective of the way of my work. It gave me that, okay, because I mean, I came from business school. I was in the corporate world in the sense that I was busy and I understood business in the sense that, okay, it's about value extraction, just make. But I think when they were talking about, it's not about value, it's not just about value extraction, but it's about what do you give back. So that kind of opened my mind to, okay, actually there's another dimension here, there's another layer here. And this whole giving back or doing good with even work, because I mean, even with your business, all businesses can do good. And I'm not talking about charity, but just doing good. And so you can see that it gels with, the wave of philanthropy or ESG or so. So it's not just about people, but it's about helping the environment or just keeping, just doing in the different domains and just giving good impact in all those domains. So to me, that was enough for me to keep going and then to keep continuing in this space. And now, helping to curate programs as well.
Yeah. And I guess, last question around even technology, right? Because obviously this entire experience is powered with technology like Gnowbe. How do you position technology when you're delivering a program? Because some people make a big deal about the tech, some people don't. So I'm curious, how do you even refer to the technology, even if at all? And I think it's better not to mention it, but
yeah, I was just going to say, I think again, for us, people who attend our conferences or even our learning programs, we know that for a fact that they're going to come from different generations, like we talked about just now. And we have to see technology as a tool and not be overwhelmed by it. So if the technology is simple and is easily usable, we would incorporate it. And so, and just making it seamless, one-stop shop, so kind of thing. I think we like I said, don't draw attention to it. Oh, you need to be, you need to have the latest technology, phone or whatever to run this. But if something is simple and it's easy to use and it's understandable, and we just organically just push it in and just let it take space, because it is an enabler. It's not the center of the focus.
Absolutely. I think that's really important. And one of the things that we've learned is that it's not about the tech. And so when people say, everyone, we're going to launch this program on Gnowbe or this technology, nobody cares. People just care about the content. And it's better just to draw them into the intrinsic motivation of why they want to join your program. And it happens to be powered by this technology, right? And that we have seen that to be much more effective. Well, thank you so much. I think this was very good. And for some of you, like Hans and others who are sharing your insights, please share it here, your insights and your reflections and any feedback for Nick here, and then share it in the group board. And then, of course, don't forget to fill out that feedback and also do your rating for this session. This is Nick's first time sharing with us, but we have had another speaker from Accomplish, his wife, who was also fantastic. So we do encourage you to share feedback. And so I'll take over the screen if that's okay. And there are, is it okay, Nick, if I take over?
Yes.
Yep. If you stop sharing, then I'll start sharing.
Share.
And there are 2 videos that Nick did share. And so one of the beautiful parts of digitizing and notifying this living conference, right, is that for your colleagues or others who are not here, they can still watch, Michael's videos, Nick's videos, and even still participate in the polls and the experience. And so I want to give everyone a moment just to pause and share your feedback. And then we're going to wrap up into our connections, our final connection circle for day one of Create 2024. So I'll give everyone a minute just to share. I will do mine later. Oh, I thought this was fantastic. You can see my ratings. Can everyone see my screen okay? Can everyone see my screen? Yeah, okay. All right, well, thank you. And I think it's a few reflections, right, from everyone. And I just like to always check around how we're doing for our competitors in the group. Let's see who's at top. Oh, Mark. Mark has completely overshot. He's at 85%. Wow. Where's Mark? Please wave. Where are you, Mark? Great job. Are you there? No, oops, sorry. I think I am trying to pull my screen up. Okay, good job to Mark, who's at the top of our leaderboard. But Michael's also very close, and Janice, good job at 82%. And the beautiful part is that there's a lot of content that you can complete after the session is finished. So we're just going to jump over now to session 5.